Hey guys, this is Michael, Treeline Backpacker. Today I wanted to show you the new 2020 Copper Spur HV from Big Agnes. This is the two-man shelter. I just wanted to do a quick video to give you sort of an overview of what's going on with this tent, what's new, some of the features. I expect a full review pretty soon as I continue to test it. But this video, I just kind of wanted to walk you around, show it to you, see if you can get an idea of the geometry, the size, the shape. Sorry about the noise. I do kind of live out in the city over here, so kind of something we deal with. But this is it. This is the Copper Spur. You can see it has two doors, two vestibules. You've got a vent on the top that's starting to be revealed along the back side here. It's got good ventilation. You have these big, steep, mesh, breathable walls. They go pretty far up the shelter. This bottom panel, sort of a wind block layer. You can see the darker gray there. And as you come up, it gets even more breathable. The wind will cut through the top, but not the bottom. So when you're sleeping, you're not going to get a chill, which is very nice. You can see this front door here, I have rolled back completely, which gives you a nice view all the way through. So if you had a nice vista on one side, you'd be able to peer all the way through the tent, have a nice view. Of course, that lower panel does offer you some privacy, so if you're sleeping with the back open, you're good to go there. Here we have a better view of the vent. Nice airflow here. It leads straight into the meshy panels of the tent, so if you have a gentle breeze coming through, it will blow all the way through the tent. Help keep the humidity down, condensation, which is always a problem on a tent. Help minimize that. Now on this side, you can see I have the same style door, but instead I've paired it with a couple trekking poles and used a couple tent stakes to stake it out as a bit of a sunshade. Now this is really nice. You wouldn't want to do this in the rain, of course, because it's going to get in the tent most likely. But this is handy to set up if you're hanging out and trying to get away from the sun. It's a very nice little feature. Now you do have to have your own trekking poles or some sort of stick if you can find it in the woods. And it does require some of your stakes. And if you'll notice, I had to pull the stakes from the top or the head and the foot of the tent, so it's not got out there. They did only include 6 stakes on this shelter, so if you're going to use only what's included, you're going to have to get a little creative. If it starts getting windy, you'll have to pull these down, stake out the front and the rear. You can get a basic pitch with it. It's pretty stable the way it is. It's not a huge deal, but ideally I really wish they would have included at least 4 or maybe 6 more stakes with this shelter to really even it out so you can get a full pitch, get better wind resistance. But when you do get it fully pitched, it is very stable. It's actually really impressive. More stable than last year's, pretty close to as stable as the older Copper Spurs, which had the heavier materials and tons of guy out points. This one is really performing really well. It feels great. Has a new fabric. Let's see if we can get you an up close there. This new fabric pattern is a new type of ripstop that Big Agnes is using. They say it's stronger. It feels stronger in the hand, but we'll have to continue testing to really know for sure. But it's held up really well. It doesn't sag as much when it gets wet, which is always nice. You can see the stakes are the nice high quality J stakes that I've used forever. Love these guys. They hold really well. They grip really well. Got some Velcro patches here which adhere to the bottom end, so when this is zipped up, it'll seal up tight, get a good waterproof seal. Now let's give you a view of the back end here. Pardon my shadow coming in and out. Now down here at the bottom, if I hadn't stole the stakes, this would pull out nice and taut. It's got a great pitch. I love the way this pitches, and this would add some extra ventilation. Without these, this is going to sit up against the tent, maybe flat back and forth. If you do build up a little condensation, that might wet out a little bit, which wouldn't be fun, but not a huge deal considering how little it touches. Got a couple of adjustments down here so you can get this nice and tight. I really love the way the poles connect on this new version. It's really hard to see here, but you can adjust it by pulling this. You can release this nice clip, goes right in there, super easy. The pole drops in nice and secure into the foot. Locks in place great. I've had no trouble with these at all. except trying to do it one-handed while holding the camera. So I'm a big fan of those. You have these new, I guess you could call these anchors. I'm not really sure what else to call them, but these are used to tie back the doors to give you a little extra ventilation. You can tie back both the left and the right side, which I haven't shown here, but that's really nice. You can get a real big, kind of gusty ventilation system going. Let's take a look on the inside. I got the Keegan's Canyon quilt down here, also testing this. You should see a review up before too long. Now what you'll notice is this is pretty spacious for an ultralight 2-man tent. Got a lot of room here. When you get 2 sleeping bags, you do have enough room to survive. You're not going to murder each other, hopefully. A little bit of elbow room. You can drop your hands down to the sides so you can get it moving around. Not too bad. Huge pockets on the foot end and the head end, which I really like. This is great. You can just throw everything up there. It's a little messy, but you get a lot more storage overall than you did last year's model. Got the headphone ports, so if you got an MP3 player, phone, whatever up there, you can pass that through. Pretty nice. Not a whole lot else going on. You do get pretty good vegetable storage space here. No issues with rain getting in there. If you look in the very far corner, you can see you do have Velcro ties to secure the rainfly to the bars. Make it a little more secure in the storm. That does make a big difference, guys. If you're going to be riding out a storm, you can use those internal guy points. If you wanted to tie out there, you can run them to each other, stake it out even better from the inside. Not with actual stakes, of course, but just kind of tie those together with webs. You make internal guy line systems. But really enjoying the interior here. Got great colors, puts off great vibes when the sun's out. It's not gloomy when the sun's not out. I really like that. Floor material, you know, it's pretty thin. You can see through it, but this is an ultralight shelter. So, you know, just be careful where you put it. You shouldn't have too much trouble there. Wouldn't recommend it on gravel or rock or anything, but yeah, so that's it. That's the Copper Spur HV 2020 edition. Lots of new changes, little tweaks here and there that really make a big difference. Really enjoying this shelter. To be honest, I'm probably gonna end up keeping this as my go-to tent. I really like some of the features of it. Copper Spur's always been famous for lots of features with little weight, and this really holds true with this model as well. But yep, let me know if you have any questions. Look forward to that review. I'll try to get it in the description at some point once I get that up. But this is Michael, Treeline Backpacker. Thank you for watching. Enjoy.